I'm Peter Hudson, aged 34, a psychology lecturer from Sheffield.
I'm Adrian Nichol, aged 25, a clerical officer from Ballymena, County Antrim.
I'm Anne Boyce, aged 34, a housewife from Penarth, South Glamorgan.
I'm John Maiden, aged 36, computer consultant from Leeds.
Good evening, welcome to the Krypton Factor and to the second heat in our Group A section. Ahead for our contestants, the toughest test on television. And for the winner, there'll be the opportunity to do it all again in the Group A final, alongside Mark William, last week's victor. In that final, there'll be a place for the group's highest-scoring runner-up, and the score to beat is 40 points, achieved by David Lee in Heat 1. So let's wish the best of luck to our four talented contestants tonight, Peter Hudson, Adrian Nichol, Anne Boyce and John Maiden. And we'll launch straight into round one. And an intriguing mental agility test tonight for our contestants to reflect on, quite literally. The subject, mirrored clock faces. In a few moments, I shall give the contestants a series of clock times as they would appear reflected in a mirror. Their task is to tell me what time it actually is. For example, if the clock in the mirror read 7:05, the actual time would be 4:55, and that's the reply I'd expect to get back. So, with that, contestants, can I ask you to put your headphones on? They will help maximum concentration. You'll each have 40 seconds to tackle as many clock faces as you can. OK, we're going to start with you, Peter. Your 40 seconds start now. 8 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
2:30.
8:30.
Wrong. 10:30.
1:30.
7:15.
4:45.
3:45.
8:15.
11:05.
12:55.
5:35.
6:25.
1:20.
10:40.
4:50. And no need to answer that. Your time's up. And in 40 seconds, you have scored 8, which is an excellent start. Well done, Peter. On we go to Adrian. Your 40 seconds start now. 7 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
11:30.
12:30.
5:30.
6:30.
1:45.
10:15.
3:15.
8:45.
9:10.
2:50.
8:25.
3:35.
6:40.
6:20.
Wrong. 2:55. No need to answer that. Your time is up. And after 40 seconds, you too have scored 8. Excellent. Now on to Anne. And your 40 seconds start now. 1 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9:30.
2:30.
8:30.
3:30.
6:15.
7:15.
Wrong. 2:45.
10:15.
Wrong. 10:05.
5:1.
Wrong. 7:35.
5:25.
Wrong. 4:20.
7:20.
Your time is up. That was wrong anyway. I think you're just an hour out each time with transferring them over. But after 40 seconds, you scored 4, Anne. Finally, we move on to John. Your 40 seconds, John, start now. 2 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
7:30.
4:30.
6:30.
5:30.
11:45.
11:45.
Wrong. 5:15.
6:45.
8:10.
3:50.
10:55.
1:05.
9:40.
2:20.
1:25.
10:35.
4:05.
7:55.
11:50.
5 to 12.
Wrong. 5:25. No need to answer that. At the end of 40 seconds, you have scored 10, which is brilliant. Excellent. And as you can see, there's no such thing as an easy start on Krypton, but some splendid performances there, and reminding you it's 10 points, 6, 4 and 2 for first, second, third and fourth. Let's go straight to the scoreboard to see how the points worked out. And there we are. In fourth place, it's Anne. Then we have joint second place, Peter and Adrian. But out in front, having got 10 answers correctly, the computer consultant from Leeds, John Maiden. And for round two, our contestants drop into British Aerospace at Hatfield to fly the 146, the world's quietest passenger jet, now serving the airlines of countries right around the world. They will tackle this most challenging of tests in the £6.5 million simulator, where their ability to learn quickly, allied with finely tuned hand-eye foot coordination, will be the vital factors. This instrument will guide them down if they can keep the orange delta flying snugly inside the yellow directional bars, all achieved by skillful use of the control column. The instructor is Roy King, simulator manager at British Aerospace. First to fly is Sheffield's Peter Hudson. The nighttime approach is into San Francisco Airport. Bottom right of the screen is Peter watching his own landing attempt for the first time, and the attitude director indicator telling him to bank right slightly because he must land on the right-hand runway. Now he shakes his head a little because he's not properly lined up for landing. And now he's all over the place and in a fair bit of trouble. There are warning lights flashing now on the flight deck, and here he goes, and that's a crash, I'm afraid. What bad luck for Peter. Now Ulsterman Adrian Nicol, head down watching the instruments, and not looking very steady. He's swinging much too far left, and he needs some pretty rapid adjustment. Just must make gentle movements on the control column there. And, well, he's not really lined up, and he's laughing there because he can see his own mistake. He's been looking down far too much. He's just glanced up at the last moment, seen a runway straight ahead of him, and that's the one he's going for. But the unfortunate thing is, he knows it now, it's the wrong runway. He's landing on the one to the left, not the one to the right. But let's see if he gets it down in one piece. There's probably lots of jumbos lining up to go on this one. And, well, he gets it down, but who knows what disaster might have occurred in real life. Unfortunate. Now this is Anne Boyce from Penarth, housewife, looking intently at the twin runways of San Francisco. Now that's a fairly steady approach. She needs to keep her nerve. Just, as I've said, make those small adjustments on the control column, and then that should bring her nicely in on line. And in fact, she is right on the center line. Now, can she put it down? No, she's veering off to the left and dropping too fast, and bounces back up into the sky again. They're very sturdy, these aircraft. She didn't quite crash. She went back up into the sky. She's down a second time, and quite nicely now back onto the runway. So that's not too bad at all, Anne. Finally, John Maiden, a man from Leeds. And problems already for him. He's off the glide slope, and he'll have to work hard to line the plane up correctly. He's just been swinging about a little bit, and he mustn't overreact, and that's not a bad recovery considering the position he was in. Coming down now just off the runway and down on the grass, and he now needs to work with his feet to get back onto the runway. He'll be pushing his right foot forward now to swing the plane right onto the runway, and he's doing that, and he's going to at least end up on the tarmac. And now the moment of truth, the judgment of instructor Roy King. In fourth place, he put Peter Hudson. The crosses on both graphs show where he crashed at the start of the runway. In third place, Adrian Nicol, and the top graph clearly displays how he landed on the wrong runway. Second was John Maiden, again the top graph telling the story of his touchdown on the grass. And the winner was Anne Boyce, an excellent approach, a near perfect angle of descent, although a fairly hard landing. So some exciting and bizarre moments there. I don't think San Francisco Airport knew quite what hit it. A crash, a landing on the grass, and a wrong runway touchdown. You certainly get variety in this programme. Now let's check on how those points affect the overall situation. And look at that, Anne has helped her cause a lot. She's jumped up into second place now, but still out in front with a Krypton Factor of 16. From Leeds, John Maiden. So, a good battle developing as we enter the round the contestants fear the most. And tonight, ever inventive, we're asking them to construct a tangram. What you must do, contestants, is to disassemble the square filled with triangles and a single square, and then rearrange the pieces into the frame provided to form the silhouette impression of a running man. A tangram. Right, are you all ready? The test starts now.
And so, without the benefit of seeing that transformation of square to running man, the contestants set about the task. This is a logic puzzle, so there are logical moves. The square is clearly going to be the head. Though Peter doesn't seem convinced. Anne's got it, though. And that large triangle she's got is one of two, which, because of their size, must form the body of the man. Now, Adrian has that smaller triangle the wrong way round. The finger holes in the centre must face him. John with the same error there, but he's spotted it. And it's probably sensible what he's doing now. Step back and think about it. And glancing down the line, Anne's doing pretty well. And John is fairly close to the solution. He's got the right pieces. It's just a question of fitting them round the right way. But with Peter, only the head is correct there. That's nerves for you. But that's pretty good for Anne. And beginning to take shape also for Peter. Now, is that a prayer on bended knee, I wonder, from John Maiden? Well, if it is, it's worked, because he's got that right, and he's the winner. 10 points. Well done, John. And Anne glances across there because she knows she needed the 10 points. But can she get second place? Battle with Peter. And that piece will fit as she perseveres. In it goes, and second place for Anne. 6 points. And Adrian here is going to be fourth, I think, because Peter's just about finished. Yes, he is. Peter is third and gets 4 points.
It's a really tough one, and the question is John beginning to run away with it now? Let's see as we go to the scoreboard and look at the scores. And in fact, he's stretched his lead to 8 points. So, still out in front with a Krypton Factor now of 26. From Leeds, John Maiden. Three rounds to go, so still plenty of points available. And your powers of observation come under test now. We'll show you 2 takes of a specially shot comedy sketch. They may seem identical, but in fact there will be 6 changes in the second take. Can you spot them? Right, put your headphones on, please, contestants, and turn to your screens ready for tonight's video, which stars copycat Andrew O'Connor and former Coronation Street favourite Geoffrey Hughes cracking down on street crime in The Unprofessionals.
Some people are so stupid.
Stupid.
A total disregard for others.
Others.
Can you believe it?
No. Believe what, Sarge?
That! What a place to park. I mean, could he have stopped in a worse position? Right on a dangerous bend?
Dangerous?
Any car coming too fast around that corner would smash straight into it.
Smash.
It's right next to a zebra crossing.
Zebra?
Near a school. Any child attempting to cross would be placed in immediate danger.
Immediate.
That vehicle in that position constitutes an accident waiting to happen and a definite danger to the general public.
Definite.
You, know what we have to do?
Move it somewhere, Sarge.
No. Clamp it.
Clamp it.
Some people are so stupid.
Stupid.
No respect for others.
Others.
Can you believe it?
No. Believe what, Sarge?
That! What a place to park. I mean, could he have picked a worse place to stop? Right on a dangerous bend?
Dangerous?
Any car coming too fast around that corner would smash straight into it.
Smash.
Right next to a zebra crossing,
Zebra?
near a school. Any child attempting to cross will be placed in immediate danger.
Immediate.
That vehicle in that position constitutes an accident waiting to happen and a definite danger to the general public.
Danger.
You know what we have to do?
Move it somewhere, Sarge.
No, clamp it.
Clamp it.
That's it. Turn to the front, please, contestants, and will you write down what you think the 6 changes were? And out of sight and earshot of the contestants, we can now show you all those changes, so stand by to check your answers.
The first change occurred in the line of children. In take 1, the boy on the right had no headphones. But in take 2, there they are. Then a dialogue change. In take 1, this phrase.
A total disregard for others.
Others.
But different in take 2.
No respect for others.
Others.
Next, an action change.
That!
In take 1, the sergeant clearly points to the car, but in take 2,
That!
he doesn't. Change number 4 was in the school sign. Look at the words by order. In take 2, they were missing. The 5th change was the constable's walkie-talkie. On his left lapel in take 1, but on his right lapel in take 2. Finally, dialogue again.
And a definite danger to the general public.
Definite.
But in take 2, that last word changed.
And a definite danger to the general public.
Danger.
Well, how many did you get? I know precisely what our contestants here got, so let me break it to them gently. Anne, you got 2 right. And John, you also got 2 right, so you're both in joint 3rd place. Adrian got 3 right, so you're in 2nd place. And Peter, with 4 right, you win the round. And let's immediately add those points into the scoreboard. And it means we now have 2 contestants sharing 2nd place. Peter's now there with Anne, but still out in front, still 8 points clear. The computer consultant, John Maiden.
The penultimate round takes us out to the assault course, and there you see how tightly packed the obstacles are. Not much running, it's all action over, under and through the obstacles for 450 yards, right down to the flat net and the finish. Contestants ready on the starting line. Here's Lieutenant Colonel Terry Hammond. And it's Anne Boyce who sets off first, the housewife from Penarth, South Glamorgan, taking advantage of the handicap system. And she, like all the contestants, will have trained for 5 weeks before coming to this course. She'll also have had a day's training with the Army Physical Training Corps, being taught all the techniques for the various obstacles. And over she comes on the rope swing, and there's the perfect example of how well she has listened to the Army. That was perfect technique. Now the 3 men set off in hot pursuit. That's Adrian Nicholl in the middle, wearing the green of Ireland and going pretty fast at the moment. Adrian Nicholl, well, almost too fast. He nearly missed that window frame. So that's a slight mistake for him. And John Maiden on the far side in blue has just edged ahead, but all pretty tight. But they have gone fast at the beginning, and already they're making quite an impression now on Anne Boyce. They're cutting back the lead on her considerably. She's just clinging on to her lead at the moment, but they're closing all the time. John Maiden on the far side, and that's how it looks for a contestant coming up to swing across on the rope into the cargo net and then climb. And it's John Maiden on the far side. He does it best because Adrian falls flat into the net, also misses his footing. So all the time he's just giving a slight advantage to John. And it is technique really that counts on this assault course. Look at John going across there very fast, beautifully done, whereas Anne now is struggling with the jump down. Now, if John makes the jump, and it's quite a nasty one, it jars your body, but he does, he's jumped into the lead, and that's a demonstration of how important it is to get the technique right. So, John Maiden to the top of the A-frame, 30 feet high, And again, it's very difficult to get over that efficiently at the top. And he does it quite nicely, almost loses his grip, though. Peter Hudson taking his time on the turn wires. And now those knees beginning to go for John Maiden. He's looking tired now as he comes out, just walks to that final obstacle up onto the Burma rope bridge. And Adrian struggling coming over the A-frame. But is John tiring? Have the others got a chance here? Adrian behind, and he goes down as well, his knees just giving way. Some water ahead now for John Maiden. A lot of water, a lot of mud, and up go those legs, and you could almost say he bottomed out into that, but a pretty good landing. Peter Hudson here finishing fairly strongly and closing the gap on Adrian, but nobody's going to catch John Maiden. Across the line he comes, he's given it everything, and he's got his 10 points as he collapses on the finishing line. Not a good landing, though, for Adrian, and that's given renewed hope for Peter. Now, can he catch Adrian by the finish? He's got a chance if he can land here well. Up come the knees again, and that is a good landing, much better than Adrian's. But Adrian under the net. Peter's yet to get there, but Adrian looking very tired indeed. The Ulsterman hardly moving at all under that net. Here comes Peter, and Anne as well, so it's hard to predict who's going to be second, third and fourth here. And it's Peter Hudson now going very fast under that net. He's up level with Adrian, and it's Peter Hudson coming across the line. He's done it, he's come through into second place. Adrian's legs won't hold him up. He has to be satisfied with third, and it's Anne in fourth place. So those points now go into the scoreboard. Peter Hudson is now clear in second place. But the leader with a Krypton Factor of 40, the man from Leeds, John Maiden.
And so into the sixth and final round, which will decide who goes through to the group final. And don't forget, if tonight's runner-up is to have a chance of making it too, he or she must score 40 points or more. And with 2 points for a correct answer and 2 points deducted for a wrong one, everyone still has a chance of that group final. Here we go then with 90 seconds of rapid-fire questions. Stand by on the buzzers, contestants. The clock starts now. Mathematically, a straight line from a circle's centre to its circumference is called what? Anne?
Radius.
Correct. Which bone lies alongside the radius in the human forearm? Anne?
Ulnar.
Correct. Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, born Peter?
Lenin.
Correct. Which actor married Rula Lenska in 1987? Adrian?
Dennis Waterman.
Correct. Which stretch of water is known to the French as La Manche? Anne?
The English Channel.
Correct. In 1875, who became the first man to swim the English Channel? John?
Webb.
Correct. In which musical by Webber and Stilgoe do the cast use roller skates to portray Adrian?
Starlight Express.
Correct. What breed was Starlight Express, the Crufts Supreme Champion of 1988? John?
Irish Terrier.
No, an English setter. Which city was the setting for the film Letter to Brezhnev? Peter?
Liverpool.
Correct. To which Liverpool group did the singer Holly Johnson belong? Peter?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Correct. The French franc is divided into 100 what? Peter?
Centimes.
Correct. 91.44 centimetres is equivalent to which imperial measure? Anne?
Yard.
Correct. Yardbird or bird was the nickname of which jazz saxophonist? The answer is Charlie Parker. Who wrote Mansfield Park and